and welcome to the End in Mind podcast. I'm your host, Caitlin, the owner of Meraki Media Management. The End in Mind is a place where we come to share stories, tips, and strategies of many entrepreneurs, creatives, business owners, and just some people that aren't willing to live the traditional lifestyle. We talk about how to live outside of the box today and how to incorporate what really is important in your life to keep that end goal always in mind. Again, if you would like to reach out to me in any type of way, you can find me on Instagram at Meraki_media_management. And I hope to hear from you all soon. Thanks so much and enjoy our show. What's up, party people? Welcome back to the End in Mind podcast. I'm your host, Caitlin. I am so excited for today's episode because this topic is really exciting and definitely something that we're playing around with all the time, which is content recreation, how to reuse content that you did really well on your account prior and how to revamp it, restyle it, and really make sure that you're always giving out content that your ideal client loves. So before I get into today's topic, I have some other really exciting news. We are deciding to launch a free coaching giveaway this week through our podcast only. So the only way you can enter into this podcast giveaway is by leaving a review for us under Apple Podcasts. We will have a detailed description on how you can do that below in the show notes. You can always Google it as well. It's very easy. It takes you about 30 seconds. Leave us a review on this podcast on Apple Podcasts and also tag us with your Instagram handle so we know how to get in touch with you. And once you do this, you will be entered into a pool of all of the people from the past month that have left us podcast reviews. So our goal is to hit about 50 reviews. So you can leave as many as you want. Make sure that your Instagram handle is included. And of course, that you're leaving a little message in there as well so I know who you are, what you love about the show, and why you're excited to participate in this podcast giveaway. Once you're entered into the pool and we choose the winner, you will get a free 90-minute sit down with me where I will send you a quiz prior. This is how all of my one-on-one sit downs go with my first initial clients. And we send you a quiz where you can choose up to 3 topics, anything from business insight breakdown, content creation, how to connect with your ideal client, lead gen, how to even discover who your ideal client is. Literally any question that you have about Instagram can be addressed on this call. And we will go through those 3 topics on our 90-minute call via Zoom. So you have access to me for 90 minutes for any of your questions. All of the notes you get to take home and do with whatever you wish with them. So really great opportunity for you to revamp your account for free. I know there's so many business owners that listen to this podcast that might not have the financial wherewithal to be able to work with Meraki at this time. That's absolutely fine. We want to help as many people as we possibly can. So I figured this giveaway would be a great way for me to give back to my listeners. Thank all of you for participating in this podcast and being a part of this journey with me. It's been a crazy ride, 2.5 years in. I'm loving it more than ever. To be honest, the business is growing. It's changing. It's fluctuating. It's ebb and flows, right? It's ups and downs. If you follow me on Instagram, you see the ups and downs. So I hope this, just really encourages you all to help us out a little bit with this show and help us keep promoting and reaching more people and getting more listeners, because that really is our mission, to help as many business owners as possible. So I appreciate that. Now let's dive into the show. And like I said, you can have as many opportunities to get into this giveaway. So make sure that you are leaving your Instagram handle in there so we know how to reach you if you do get to win. So let's dive in today. This is going to be a great topic. I want you guys, if you're not currently driving, to grab a pen and paper. This information is super important for you as a business owner and how to recreate this content. Even if you're not a business owner, maybe you are striving to be a social media manager by listening to this podcast. Also, also really a great topic for you today. Maybe you're even a blogger or hopefully going to be an Instagram influencer someday. Again, you have to know what content your client is gravitating towards, and you have to know if your content is actually working and converting, or brands won't want to work with you. So there's several different avenues for this type of business insight breakdown that I'm basically gonna do live on the show here with you guys today. And I just want you all to take notes and make sure that you're able to dive into your business Instagram insights with me as we go along here. So really what I want you all to do is go into your account and have a look at the back end of your insights, so you start to gauge what type of content people are saving, people are sending to other people are commenting and engaging on, what are they sharing to their story. This is all really important for you to know about your current following and your current clientele. So there's several different ways of content, as we know, of creating content. There's, video content, Instagram Reels. You can just have static 30-second videos on the feed. You can have stories. Then you can even have, IGTVs. You have so many options for video in itself. And then when you get back to still graphics, you have, infographics, you have carousel images, you have multiple movement images that you can use, right? There's so many ways of creating content. And really what you want to know by looking at these insights is, what are those top types of content that people are tending to gravitate towards on your feed? For example, I was just doing this for a client of mine the other day when I pulled up her insights, and you can do this with me right now. So let's hop into your account. This is how we look up everybody's insights. You go to your profile, then you click insights. There's an option, should be right on your view business dashboard. It'll say at the top as well. You can click that, or it will say insights under edit profile, or you can click the 3 lines up in the right-hand corner and click insights. So several ways to get there. And once you're in here, you are going to go to content interactions, and then you can scroll down to where you see top posts. So right here, you'll see top posts for your week. And then you want to click on top posts. And what's great is it will generate this for you based around likes for the past year. So really you have to know, what is your goal on social? Do you care about the likes, or do you care about more of the comments, or do you care about more of the saves, sends, and shares? Really, you have to make that decision. For the most part, for business owners, we will look at saves, sends, shares. We'll also look at comments. To be honest, likes aren't as important for me as I am, creating content for my clients. Of course, we like to see eyeballs on it, but the likes don't really matter as much anymore. So when I'm up at the top, I will go and click comments. And over the past year, it will bring up all my top posts with my top comments. So this is really interesting. Like I was mentioning with my past client of this week, when we were doing this for her, all of her top posts came up as quotes and images that were being saved, downloaded, sent, shared out to many other people. And I found it really interesting that all of them were quotes. Like, this was the only thing that was really resonating with her audience. And that was possibly a huge pillar that we need to continue to create within her weekly content, right? So maybe even doing twice a week of quote images, of repurposing maybe a really amazing quote that's going super viral that week, and within her ideal client community, right? So something on topic for her, and maybe pulling one of her own quotes that does really well. Or we just stick with her quotes that are going to be really authentic to who she is and describe her brand. So this is how I want you all to start thinking about this. If you guys follow me on social media, you'll see that I just recreated our basement into another office area. We have recently found out that my boyfriend Sean is not going back to the office, so we will be working from home for the two of us forever, possibly. So we needed to create some more space for me to create content on that topic of really finding a place to create your content. as you're getting in there and you're seeing what's doing well, this is your next opportunity, right? You have to get in, you have to recreate it, you have to find this certain spot where you're going to be given the downloads from the content universe of what's going to work for your clientele. So I have to be in a certain mindset to create content. Most of the time I have to be listening to some sort of music. I have to be well fed. I normally have to have some tea and water by me. I normally like to write my content in the mornings. That is when I'm the most productive in my day. So I get up out of bed, I listen to a few podcasts maybe, I start my day with my meditation, my journaling, maybe do some reading, and then I jump into my content creation, especially after I'm feeling really inspired. And this has really helped me by utilizing this business insight breakdown of going back and saying, okay, well, if I'm going to talk about this topic for the week, when I'm creating this content or working with my graphic designer to create my content, I'm going to send her a screenshot of the content images that have done the best or the photos that have done the best. You know, how can we take more of these photos, or how can we talk more about these topics, and why is this causing the most amount of content and comments, right? Is it the image that was engaging? Is it the words on the page? And the more you start to play around with this and experiment, the more you will be able to narrow down exactly what it is. So you test out the image, you test out the words, you test out the content, right? And then it all just ends up flowing because you know, okay, well, this post flopped because the image just actually wasn't what was drawing them in. Maybe it was the actual physical content. So now we're gonna take that physical content and create a whole week around this one topic of posts that did really well. So this is the best way to go in and create your content, by looking at the back end of your insights. There's many other ways that you can approach this, right? Depending on your goals as a business owner. They even have drop-down options for website clicks. If that is a huge, driving factor for you and your business, and a big call to action that you had over the past month, you want to know if that content's converting for you. You want to know if it's working or if it isn't, because to me, why I don't focus on the likes is, yes, that is, engagement, that is helping me with the quote unquote algorithm, if we can even call it the algorithm. To be honest, I hate using the algorithm mentality. I think that it gives a really off-putting sense to the app, and it almost makes my clients feel like they're working against Instagram. And I hate that for them, because Instagram is not trying to work against you at all. They're actually trying to protect their users. Of course, they're a business as well. They want you to stay on the platform for as long as possible. But with all of these updates, what I've been seeing is that it's really playing to the user experience and listening to, the back end of what's working and what isn't working. And they're working out those glitches for us as the users. So I appreciate the updates when they come. Of course, it's a pain in the tush. For example, a few days ago, actually, Instagram did an update. And what happens is, a lot of the time, like business accounts and just any account, right, that might have been doing really well gets pushed to the bottom just because the algorithm has been reset, right? This is literally like talking about the physical algorithm of whatever their bots and how they work. So it's being fully reset. And then at times there's accounts that are hit harder just because of maybe a past, security breach that they had. It could have any reason, right, why these accounts are hit. And that is really frustrating because you're not getting the same amount of likes. You're not getting the same amount of views. You're not getting the same amount of comments. And a lot of people are really quick to say, oh, it's just because of Instagram. It's just because they reset the stupid algorithm. It's just because of this and that. And yes, partially over those weeks when Instagram is readjusting and changing, of course, right, that can have a little bit of an effect on the content. But overall, your content would do super well if you were creating content that was going to resonate with your audience anyway. And the only way to know that it's going to resonate is if you start looking at your business Instagram insights and start analyzing content to know what's converting and what's not. So getting back to the like topic, the likes really don't drive anything for my business forward. So most of the time I look at things like website clicks, or I will look at things like, podcast clicks and all different types of things that I may be funneling for my business that month and kind of pushing them towards on the platform. This is really the ins and outs of marketing, and if you don't have these small goals set and ways to analyze them, it can be really difficult to level up and start to expand even more. So what else is really interesting, which I wanted to bring up today, which I have not tried yet, to be honest. You guys know me. I really do my best to stay up with Instagram Reels and things like that. And I've noticed that they recently just put out an option to remix this reel. So basically you can take a reel and record yourself, I guess, why the other reel is playing. So you can basically recreate the entire reel and adjust it to be your own. So this is a really interesting trick and tip that's coming up here for Instagram, because all of these new features we want to pay attention to when they come up with these new updates. So there's also some really cool features with creating captions right on the Instagram app. And that was huge for me because it used to take me hours to download my Instagram stories and then upload them into another app and re-download them, and also take up a ton of storage on my phone and then re-upload them back into Instagram. Like, that's literally what I would do to get those captions auto-created on my story. Now they've given us the feature right inside the Instagram app. So super stoked about that. And then, if you start utilizing all of these new quote unquote features, Instagram's going to reward you for that. They want to see that you're paying attention, that you're utilizing these new things, and they want to see if they're working, right? Because they're always testing and experimenting things as well. If you look at things like the Threads app, for example, Instagram created this Threads app. They wanted it to basically be an extra Instagram messaging app, like a whole nother messenger, basically. It didn't end up really translating with anyone because it was basically like a Snapchat app, but it didn't really come across. And the users, I used it, for example, to get those captions uploaded into my stories, and it was free. So a lot of people downloaded the app, but then they ended up just going back to Instagram. They weren't hanging out on the app. This is a great example of one of the apps or things that Instagram has tried that they knew that they needed to then go back in and add to the actual Instagram physical app, because so many people were using it on Threads. The more we understand business and how business operates, the more we can understand how Instagram operates and how to understand the algorithm or understand their goals, right? All they really care about is more eyeballs on their application. How are they going to make money? They're going to get money from ads. And then how do they get ads? They get ads from more eyeballs and more conversions. That is why it's so important to them to have more people spending more time on the application. And that's why you'll see things come up with polls like, do you like this ad? Or have you ever purchased this from Instagram? Or do you ever shop on Instagram Shopper? Like, those little quizzes that they're giving you are basically polls that you could have on your Instagram story, polling your clientele on a daily basis. If you guys do not follow me yet on social media, I would definitely encourage you to. It's at Meraki_media_management. I use the poll sticker all the time, and it's so helpful for me. I will poll you all on different topics of the podcast. I will poll on how you all are feeling, right? Because your emotions are really important to understanding when you know that you need help or when you're really just trying to get some information, right? And how can I cater to that emotion that you're feeling that day? So all of this is really important for knowing and understanding about your audience. You can even ask them, what is your top most liked photo? What type of content do you enjoy the most reading and engaging with? Like, there's so many questions that you could have on your Instagram polls that are going to continue to give you more information for your content creation. But this remix reels is really interesting and definitely something I'm going to play around with. I'll let you all know if I have any great experience with it, because I really don't like to train anything that I haven't tried yet. But this looks like a really great opportunity to remix a really viral reel or a TikTok that is on the application, and then basically remix it to create it your own. So again, I will keep you guys posted on all of that. But I really think that with this business Instagram insight breakdown, what's going to benefit you all the most is by getting into your account and getting comfortable in your insights. Understanding your insights is so important as a business owner, and it's such a great free tool that we have as business owners on this application. There are some platforms out there, I'm not kidding you all, that will charge $300+ a month for the same exact information that you could extract for free off of your business Instagram account. And if you get in touch with the right people, like myself, that can really help you understand these business Instagram insights and explain the call to action and explain what's happening in these back ends, that is when you can seriously start moving the needle in your content creation process and changing the game for you and your business. You know, content can be so struggling to create, and a lot of the time we can feel like there's absolutely no other options out there. And I can tell you right now, you all probably have at least 5 to 10 topics within your business Instagram insights. And when you go in and have a look at these, that you can start to pull out and create as maybe even brand values for yourself. Because creating content is not just about connecting, selling, and, promoting yourself. It's really about building your brand and explaining to people what are the pillars of who you are as a person, if you have a personal brand, and how those values fit into what you do in your business. I was just speaking with one of my colleagues the other day, and we were talking about how it's really hard to know when your message is coming across. So a lot of people in this entrepreneurial space will be really focused on money and revenue goals. That was really off-putting for me as being a young entrepreneur. That was not something that I was mainly focused on. I really care about my clientele, and I really care about the business owners that we help. So when I was hearing all these revenue goals and talking about different milestones and hitting this and hitting that, yes, of course that's important, right? Of course we're in this for money and converting. But my overall goal is not just about revenue. My overall goal is to really help small business. Small business is the backbone of America. As being a small business owner, I know the struggles. I know what they need. I know how to help them. And I know how to show them how to do it in a very relaxed manner. So by understanding this about your client and being able to explain it to them in this way, it can be really challenging, because when you are working with other social managers or people in this entrepreneurial space, they don't always come up with that type of energy. And by being able to explain to your clientele how much you care about them, that is what could be an overall brand value that you just talk about in your content that's really going to build more trust with your clientele over time, because you're just being authentic and operating in integrity. And when I kind of let all of those limiting beliefs and all of these milestones and goals that really just weren't in alignment for what I cared about, that was when things changed for me. That was when the clients started coming in that I really cared about, and the content started flowing so much easier because I was talking about things that I was passionate about and not getting hung up on, like I said, the revenue goal. Because the revenue goal can be really stressful for me as a business owner, especially when someone is telling me that I should be reaching a certain amount of money by the end of the month. That doesn't seem like a normal window for me to be able to wrap my head around setting the goal and being able to put it into action to make it happen. So when I stepped back and looked at my overall goals and let myself believe in the overall goal and keeping the end in mind, right? Instead of that immediate goal, it relieved me of this daily stress of like working towards this one monthly goal every month. And when I didn't hit it, beating myself up about it over and over again. Instead, I'm thinking about my overarching goal always, which lets me know that every step that I take, every setback, every limiting belief that stops me from this and that, or pivot or adjustment or loss of a client, has actually allowed me to get to the end eventually. And it's all happening for me in a sense that's teaching me a lesson so that I can get to my end goal faster. And that mindset shift has really changed for me, and again, helped me with this content creation, because I'm able to go in knowing, okay, if this piece of content flops tomorrow, whatever, at least now I know that content doesn't work. I experimented, I tried, just like Instagram, just like every other business owner out there, just like huge corporations. That was a flop. We learned something, we move forward, right? And that's okay. But if we don't have our insights, then we don't even know if it is a flop, right? And we don't even know what our goals are, and we don't even know how to analyze the business insights to know if it was a flop. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode this week. I really enjoyed sharing this information with you all and sharing some of my stories along the way as well. Let me know if you all are enjoying those little stories and rants that I may get on, because as you guys know, probably I'm a talker. So, quick reminder, if you have time, please give us a review on Apple Podcasts. You will be entered into our free giveaway for a 90-minute sit-down with me, free coaching opportunity. This is a $200 value that you'd be getting for free. So I really hope that you all will take some time and give us a review to enter into our giveaway. There are directions below in the show notes on how to leave that review. And if you don't have time to read the directions, always just give it a quick Google. It literally takes 60 seconds, and it does us such a solid to help us reach as many business owners as possible. I love to talk about mindset work because I believe that that's the first step into becoming the next level entrepreneur and really leveling up in entrepreneurship and how to level up in life, honestly. So I hope you guys feel the same way. Thank you so much for your support. If you know anyone that may benefit from this show, please share it with them. I would greatly appreciate it, and I will see you all next week. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to The End in Mind. I would like to remind you all, if you haven't yet reached out to me on Instagram, we are at Meraki_media_management. It will be in our show notes as well. If you would like to reach out to me, we always offer free coaching through Instagram based around our Instagram training and our business Instagram practices. If you need any type of support, please do not hesitate to reach out to me there. And we also offer several different types of consulting and training packages if you're looking for a little bit more in-depth tips. So thank you all for listening in, and of course, I want you all to keep the end in mind as you continue with your day and or work week. Have a great week, and I will see you all next time.
Hey everybody, I'm Chris Fafalius, and I'm the producer of Krista Makes a Podcast and the host of the One Hit Thunder podcast.
And I'm Matt Kelly, host of Horror Movie Night and the producer / the head of content for the Geekscape Podcasting Network.
Between the two of us, we have, believe it or not, 25 years of podcasting experience, and we want to help you start your own podcast.
We know podcasting, and we want to share that knowledge with you.
So whether you're new to podcasting or you want some feedback on your currently active podcast, we want to help.
Or perhaps you're just overwhelmed with all of the editing work. Well, we can help you with that also.
You can check out our website at weknowpodcasting.com for more information.
We're excited to help your podcasting dreams become a reality.